Dennis O'Neill found them in the yearling sale. And Dennis looks for big butts, and this one had it, and so he knew he liked it. He does usually buy yearlings, but this one he dipped in for because it just fit what he likes physically. And Dennis called and said, "You want a leg?" And I said, "Sure." He supported, he endorsed it. And he's got a great eye. I mean, look at his record. He's already had 2 Derby winners in the last 10 years, and let's hope it's 3 in 10 years. And he put together the partnership. Called me and Greg Helm, Roadrunner Racing, circa half. And then their nephew, which I knew I was in good hands. If they put their nephew in it with his money, and the boat racing guys, the 5 guys from Round, they're the other partners. So it's just been a great partnership, and Dennis put it together, and it's just been a dream ride. I mean, just a dream ride. At the 8th pole, we're gonna win the Breeders' Cup. I mean, it was like crazy that we're gonna win it. And then when he finished second, we were ecstatic. I've never been happy to be second in my life until that race.
Here's Hot Rod Charlie, a huge long shot at 94-1, coming into the final 16th, but Essential Quality runs by. Jackie's Warriors giving way. Essential Quality's gonna do it. Essential Quality has won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
And I think that was not so much finishing second in the Breeders' Cup. It was what it symbolized, which was we are now officially on the Derby Trail, right? So again, at the 8th pole, it was like, we're doing the Breeders' Cup, and then we became second, like, all right, we're on the Derby Trail. So it was actually different throughout the stretch run there. Yeah, the partners, I'd never met either of them or any of them, depends how you want to look at it, before we got into this together. And after the Bob Lewis, when he ran really well, his first start as a 3-year-old, I always like the 2 starts before the Derby, because if something happens in one of the starts, you have another one to get you the points to get in. And Patrick O'Neill is the one he found the Louisiana Derby, and I was actually a little nervous about it, but because we're so good as partners, it was like, okay, that makes sense, let's go. And it was $1 million pot, helps as well, don't get me wrong. But that's how we really did it. Patrick found the race. I would have leaned more towards 2 turns, but there's a partnership, you compromise or whatever, and boy, thankfully we listened to Patrick.
The energy and the excitement from Greg Helm and Bill Strauss and my nephew and their partners. So that to me is, not that you'd ever get stale in this business, but if you ever feel a little stale, you get around some new energy and new people who sport, and it's like, it reminds you why you're in it, right? Family and friends is everything, and yeah, just having Patrick, who, like you say, the son of my late brother Dave, is insane to see where Patrick is now, and now he's part of a horse, owns a part of a horse. And then my son Danny, who's named after my other brother, passed away, Danny. So it reminds you to cherish every day, because we're not guaranteed tomorrow.
I'm Riley Higgins. I'm from Orange County, California.
Dan Gioacchini from Boston, Massachusetts.
Eric Armagas, Peachtree City, Georgia.
Patrick O'Neill, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Alex Koiser, Houston, Texas.
It's special. It's certainly special, and to see Doug go from running $8,000 claimers at Bay Meadows, not too long ago, and then win the Kentucky Derby with Mr. Paul Redham in 2012. That was an unbelievable experience, and I thought that couldn't have gone any better from that experience in that moment. And then to couple that whole family side of the business with my best friends in the world, these 5 guys, it's really, really remarkable and something that you can't really put into words.
During our fraternity pledging in the spring, Pat kind of said, hey, I'm out, I'm going to Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby, and we're like,
What year was that?
This is 2012. Okay. So it's the spring of 2012, we're in the middle of pledging, we got all this stuff going on, and Pat's like, I'm actually gonna be leaving for a week to go to Kentucky, and we're like, okay, dude, whatever. And then we were watching the Kentucky Derby on TV, and I'll have another wins for Team O'Neill, and they pan to the trainer's suite, and there's Pat going berserk, and we're like, wow, this is actually a real thing. He's not just spinning some story. So that was kind of the catalyst for us to be fully aware of the extent to which Pat was involved and how much he cared, and him being among this group of best friends. We started to gravitate towards it because his enthusiasm for the industry, for Team O'Neill, was contagious to us.
And one of the coolest things is we actually came from a bachelor party for one of our best friends, Zach Sparber, in Raleigh right before this. We took a Southwest flight from Raleigh through Atlanta to Louisville. And all those guys are like, how can we get on the next horses? So to your point about how can we bring in the new generation, just us kind of sharing this journey with them. They couldn't be more interested. We'll see how we can kind of get them into the boat racing crew. It's a little bit logistically from a legal perspective tough, but we're totally in for bringing as many people, friends, family, and whoever else wants to get into horse racing as possible. We're very, very cognizant that to have your third horse be, the fourth choice in the 147th Kentucky Derby is definitely kind of a pinch me experience and something we don't necessarily deserve. And I think we're all in agreement that we've worked really, really hard to be where we are today, but we've had blessed lives. And so as much as possible as we go on this journey, we want to make sure that we're understanding of who we are and kind of where our roots are and how we can give back to kind of a better cause. And so unfortunately, my dad passed in 2015 of melanoma. My uncle passed at the age of 38 in 1998. Riley's dad's best friend, Mr. Sweet, passed away just recently of melanoma as well. So it definitely hits home across our group, and it's just a deadly disease that if we can bring awareness to, all the better in the world. So we've decided to create kind of this campaign called the Sixth Man campaign, and there's 5 of us, and as sport athletes, and Gio was the best one, but big basketball fans, the idea of the sixth man is the guy who comes off, or girl that comes off the bench, is the unsung hero, extremely gritty, brings energy, and a lot of times is the needle mover between winning or losing. And so we are going to donate a 1/6 of our earnings, not just for the Kentucky Derby, but for any race throughout the rest of the year and hopefully going forward with Charlie, to the Melanoma Research Alliance, which is actually a shirt I'm wearing today. And what they do, they've donated $123 million to research since their incorporation 11 years ago. Such an amazing campaign and such an amazing organization, and it's just such a great feeling to be partnering with them. At the end of the day, we're just watching horse racing. What they do is truly kind of what moves the needle and makes life amazing. So there is a site called curemelanoma.org, and on the top of the site they say Melanoma Research Alliance is supporting Hot Rod Charlie. I think they actually use the word Chuck, which is our cheeky name for Hot Rod Charlie. He's a guy's guy, Chuck. So curemelanoma.org, just click on donate, and we love all the donations that the people can bring.